अखंडमंडलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखं केवलं ज्ञानपूर्तिं तेतं त्रिगुणं सद्गुरुं अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुमिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै we are in third Unmesha, discussing about the moha. Shiva says that for the sadhaka who are engrossed or trapped in mohamaya, mahamaya, for them, removal of moha is the way to achieve the success on this path, or to get connected with the own self, you can say. So we were in the sixth sutra of third Unmesha. Moha Varana Siddhi. Siddhi, the upper powers are wrapped or having well of moha. So we'll quickly see what is moha. There are two questions about this also. So we'll quickly see what is moha. So why moha is considered here? Because moha is one of the Shatvikara. Other five are Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Mada and Matsar. And like avidya is the root cause of other kleshas. Out of the five kleshas, avidya is the first klesha and is the root cause of other kleshas also. Like that, moha is the root cause for other five vikaras. Like kama means lust, krodha is anger, lobha means greed, mada means pride, and matsar is jealousy. So when you are trapped in moha, moha means attachment to anything. Like if kama is the lust part, is a lust vikara, when we are attached to anybody's body, then this type of feelings are start disturbing us. So that becomes lust part. Like krodha, we don't, if we are getting attached to anybody's actions or reactions that we don't like, so we get angry. So anger is also one type of feeling that is getting only because we are getting attached to that person's actions or that person's way of thinking, anything, because at certain level we don't want that person to act like this. That's why we get angry. When we are neutral with anybody else, we don't get angry about their actions, is it not? So that is because at a certain level we are in a moha with that person or with that action of those persons. Then the lobha is a greed. So we get attached to many things like money or any other thing to acquire. Then the moha part becomes very active, and the lobha, that another vikara, starts becoming very prominent in our personality. Like that pride are of many types. Like health, pride of health, pride of status, or your education.
अब एक पार्किंग अभी नहीं हम लोग बोल पाएंगे, 1-2 महीने के बाद was in process चल रहा है थोड़ा सा.
अच्छा. Actually, I stay.
I know, I've seen you from here.
So, अगर आपको actually I'm buying a new car. I have a car.
Who is this talking behind? Please mute yourself. Huh? It is disturbing. So this is even for the even a few sadhak also, they feel pride about their sadhana, about their spiritual attainments, etc. So these are very subtle things in spiritual world that many sadhak become attached to their sadhana, and it is also a moha about their own spiritual practice. Then matsari, jealousy. When we get when we see somebody is flourishing or having something that we don't have, but we have attachment about that thing or about that status, then we feel jealous about that person or about that situation or anything. So then here we can say that moha is the root cause of other 5 vikaras. So these are the shat vikaras, and why this is being called as vikara? Because of these 6 things, we get mental or physical illness. This is also one aspect. That's what it is called as a vikara. They are the vikara, illnesses or the disorders of mind. They are the 6 vikara. So because of this thing, mind always remains restless, and ultimately chitta also remains restless. And what is our aim in spiritual practice? To keep our chitta calm and quiet, out of any, away from any type of impression getting on our chitta. But due to this vikara, we are getting many impression on our chitta, and the chitta becoming very jada. It's very heavy, you can say. The chitta doesn't remain light. And the aim of spiritual sadhana is to keep the chitta very light mode, having no impression in the memory part, because memory is part of chitta. So here we had a quick information about our 6 disorders or 6 vikara. The next sutra is, what is the 6th sutra was about the moha. That moha envelops the siddhi. Siddhi are the superior powers, the extraordinary powers that human being can perform. That is siddhi. So the 7th, Shiva says, moha jayat ananta bhogat sahaja vidya jayaha. I'll just share the स्क्रीन शेयर करके दे दें। ये हाँ ये आ गया। So the 7th sutra is moha jayat ananta bhogata sahaja vidya jayaha. Here Shiva says, by getting the victory on the moha, that is the unstable and attached state of our consciousness, one can lead to conquering vidya with unlimited enthusiasm while enjoying the same. This is very beautiful sutra about for the people who are engrossed in Mahamaya. They are at very what you call at the very preliminary level of sadhana. For the people who are engrossed in Mahamaya, for them Shiva says, when you remove moha from your personality, from your chitta, you can have so many siddhis, and you can also have the moha jaya. Means through the practice, moha can be removed through practice of hatha yoga, also through meditation, through the different types of sadhana, that is called sadhana. So hatha yoga means it is her is the Surya, her is Chandrama. Means stabilizing your Ida and Pingala Nadi. We have seen the Nadi part. So Ida and Pingala and Sushumna are the three most important nadis. If you stabilize Ida and Pingala, the Sushumna gets open and the Jivatma Shakti, that Kundalini Shakti can start Urdhva Gaman, that's moving upward through the Sushumna. That's why it is said that through the practice of Hatha Yoga, you can remove the veil of moha. This is one of the tool. It is being said in Adhyatma that making Sushumna active is the outcome of Hatha Yoga. So Kundalini starts moving upward. And then what happens? The siddhis are, the person can, the sadhak can achieve all siddhis or the superior powers. Here it is said. So what is Vidya? So we have also seen about the Shankari Vidya. Vidya is always referred, Shankari Vidya is always referred as Vidya in Shaivagama. That is the wisdom that has been communicated by Shiva Tattva. And that these are the Adi Yogi. Shiva is called as a Adi Yogi. And Shankari is a Vidya, that the secret knowledge and wisdom that he has imparted with the many siddhas, and they become liberated. They become the Jivan Mukta. And such emancipated souls, or the such Jivan Mukta siddhas, they are called as Guru. And they carry the essence of the Shankari Vidya, and they impart this wisdom to many their devotees or to their disciples who are having stabilized in the spiritual practice. They may be at different levels, but the Guru imparts the same knowledge and wisdom, but the only grasping power of that sadhaka varies, and it all depends on the state of chitta of that sadhaka. So if the chitta is clean, you can get more wisdom, more Shankari Vidya. We can grasp the Shankari Vidya with a very ease. It is a sahaja, swabhavike is the word used in another sutra also. It is a sahaja bhava, we get the Shankari Vidya. So here the person, that siddha, can enter into the state of sahaja. Sahaja is the very effortless state of getting vidya, accepting it, and getting with that vidya, merging with the vidya. The chitta becomes very stable, and the vidya starts from the mano vijnanamaya kosha, and it gets stabilized in our chitta, so that the sadhak starts becoming like Shiva Tattva. That is the having the sahaja bhava of the and enjoying the vidya part. So here it is called Vidya Jayaha, means acquiring the Vidya, or Jaya means becoming very prosperous with the Vidya. So here, Sahaja we have already discussed, and how the Kundalini also moves upwards. That also we have discussed in another session. So again, we will not discuss it in length. But when we see our sadhakas day-to-day life, we in a 24 hours, we are continuously moving from Sattva, Rajas, and Tamasa. When the Tamasa is dominant, the person becomes lethargic. Rajas makes us active, but the Sattva keeps us in meditative state of consciousness. So the sadhana maximum happens in Sattva Bhav. So moha is always a tamasa part. So removing moha means removing tamas from your personality. So when sadhak removes the moha attachment about anything, and this is a very continuing process, at the same time, lots of efforts are required from the sadhak. That's why the second sutra says sadhaka prayatna sadhaka. That is the second sutra Shiva has told. Because the prayatna sadhaka has to put lot of efforts in this path, on this path, to travel towards the Shiva Tattva. That's why removing moha is the key that Shiva is giving for the sadhak. That you remove the moha and get the vidya. And enjoy the vidya. It is a continuing process. When the chitta becomes stable, this is getting vidya, enjoying vidya, remain with that, remain at the elevated state is a continuing process, because the flow of chitta shakti from the Vijnanamaya kosha becomes permanent. Uninterrupted flow of the chitta shakti happens in this state. So that this way the moha can be removed. Then what happens? What happens with this effort of removing moha? Then the 8th sutra, Shiva says, Jagrata Ditiya Karaha. Awakened state. Jagrata means in the awakened state. We are now in Jagrata state. That's why we are hearing, we are listening. So this Jagrata Avastha becomes a secondary aspect for the sadhaka, because he remains in a continuing awareness or in the Turiya Bhava. So such Jagruta Avastha, that doing day-to-day work, remaining awake, then sleeping, and all these other three states are becoming the part of his personality, but the original constitution of the personality is continuing awareness. That is we have seen the five state of five avastha of the consciousness or of the existence of a human being. First is Jagrut, second is Swapna, third is Sushupti, fourth is Turiya. Turiya, now the sadhak is in a Turiya bhav. What Shiva says, when the Moha Avarana is removed, then the sadhak remains in a Turiya bhava. And the fifth is the Turyatit, the Unmani. This is a Chidanand. This is being as a Shiva, but we are at the fourth level. So the human, when awake as a normal person, the Siddha remains in as a normal person, doing all day-to-day activity, but the Jagruta Avastha remains as a secondary part for him. His own, this awareness is a continuing through all the three states, Jagrut, Swapna, Sushupti. Tritiya Bhokta Vireshaha, that Shiva has said in second Unmesha, Tritiya Bhokta Viresha, who is enjoying or who is having control on the three states is the Viresha, is having the valor to do spiritual sadhana, is the very strong person or a very strong sadhak. So the doership gets lost. So why this moha happens? That is another way of looking it as when we are in a continuous doership, that I am doing this. This is outcome of my working, and all these things create somewhere else moha about what we are doing, etc. But this doership is no more there in this state, and the kriya only happens because the activated Jivatma Shakti or the activated Kundalini, she does everything for the sadhaka. The sadhaka is not doing anything, and it happens, the kriya happens, and karma is the working or doing something by the human being in all the three states. But whereas kriya happens when the sadhak remains on the turiya state. So that's why here the Shiva says such sadhaka remains in that state, and though he is working in Jagruta state, but the karma phala is not getting created. There is no karma. Everything is a kriya of the Shakti. And whatever the requirement of the Shakti, those things only happen through the sadhak. He may be doing the mundane world for the fulfilling his responsibilities, etc. But no karma phala is getting created. His chitta, his memory remains clean. Then what is the outcome of all these things? Or what is the blossoming here? Then the 9th sutra says, Nartaka Atma. The self is a dancer or a abbot of Shiva. This very beautiful sutra Shiva is just indicating through two words that Nartaka Atma. The awakening brings the sense of self as a dancer. Why dance is being referred here? Because if you remember, Shiva is in the form of Dakshinamurti, imparting the knowledge. Along with knowledge, he is imparting the knowledge about the wisdom about the Sangita. Sangita is the Nritya Kala also, then Gayan Kala also, and Vadan Kala also. Sangita is a combination of three kalas, Gayan, Vadan, and Nritya, means singing, dancing, and playing any instrument. This is the three parts of Sangita. And the Shiva is imparting the wisdom about the Sangita also as a Dakshinamurti, in a Dakshinamurti bhava. So here the Atma is referred as a Nartaka. Shiva himself has been shown as a Nartaka in Nataraja. He is a Nartaka. He is dancing. He is doing the cosmic dance. That's why Shiva is also called as a Nartaka. And when the Atma gets stabilized in the Shiva Tattva, that Nartaka Bhumika gets imbibed in the Siddha. So here he says that Nartaka Atma. Then the any dance, if you see any dance, even you are seeing Shiva dancing as a, he has the Nataraja form also, even he did the Tandava Nritya also. While dissolving the universe, he did the Tandava also. So Tandava is also dance. Now, in the Nataraja form also, dance is there. So why the dance is referred here? Because while performing a dance, the actor or who is a dancer gets into that bhumika. Here is a yoga bhumika. For our reference is the yoga bhumika. But for a simple example, we can discuss here that any dancer, when he or she performs the bhumika, if for example, when Hema Malini performs as a Durga, then you see the bhava on her face, the expressions on her face, because she gets totally involved in that role as a Durga. All her actions, all her dance, mudras, etc., all are only reflecting the bhava of Durga. That valor is there, that type of sweetness is there, that type of very Durga bhava jisko kehte na, that type is reflected through her dance. Similarly, the dancer who gets involved fully in the dance gives full justice to the whatever role he is performing while dancing. And when the dance is over, he comes back to his original state as it becomes a simple person. But here, similarly, the self or the Atma of a person who doesn't carry sense of doership performs all the day-to-day activities. Here, the Kundalini is doing all the activities for the Siddha. Siddha of his or of her own never perform any activity or any karma or any kriya. That kriya is the karma that happens. That is not a performance. But here, what the Shiva says, the person who doesn't carry the sense of doership performs through the body-mind complex with pure and untainted consciousness. Here, pure and untainted consciousness is very important because it is a state of Turiya, and that remains unattached to whatever it has been done. Like Krishna advised so many things to Arjuna. Arjuna killed n number of people there. And Krishna also was part of doing such things, but with the untainted consciousness, pure and untainted consciousness, only to perform the action. Because Arjuna was a Kshatriya and he was called for having war. So in a war, killing people is part of war. So this is all had done with a pure and untainted consciousness. Here the same thing Shiva is saying. Nartak is also a faith of Shiva. It is a what you call, so very splendor reflection of Shiva. The self who is an inseparable part of the soul or the universal energy Shiva plays this role in a human form. When this fact is understood, no sense of separateness remains. That is the Advaita. When the Siddha understands, acts as per this, then no separateness is being, what you call, there is no separateness. The person or the Siddha remains always with the Shiva Tattva. This is the ninth sutra. And then what happens with this? Where this happens? The 10th sutra says, Rangottara Atma. Platform or movement of this dance is where the self or the Atma is doing within our existence. It is not happening somewhere else on the exterior theater or somewhere. No, the theater is inside our own being. It is in our very existence. When the sadhak reaches to this state, the external acts just happen without any specific intention, without any favorable outcome. This is a Nishkam Karma, what Krishna has said in Bhagavad Gita. That Kundalini gets the work done for him, or for her, for the Siddha. And the Kundalini Shakti, which generally remains dormant. Why? Because the Prakriti or the Pravrutti is always dominant in normal sadhaka. That's why the Kundalini remains in a dormant state. But in this state, the Kundalini is awakened. She is performing all the kriya for the sadhaka or for the siddha. So why it happens? This happens with removal of moha and with the hatha yoga. All these activities taking place with respect to hatha yoga, the sadhak can reach to this stage and remains in a sahaja bhav, remains in very effortless state. And the self performs this within ourselves. And then who is the audience for such dance? The Nartaka Atma, Rangottara Atma. Who is the audience for this? The Shiva says, Prekshakani Indriyani. Our own organs are the audience for such type of dance, such dance that is happening. The dance of cosmic energy that is happening as a with the Jivan Mukta Siddha, who is for him or for her, the Kundalini is doing all the works. The cosmic energy is doing all the works. That spiritual, that divine dance is happening within us. And our sensory organs, our action organs, even our mind, our subtle organs like Mana, Chitta, Buddhi, Ahankar, all become prekshaka, audience for the divine dance that is happening within. So this very beautiful references, or we can, when we have this glimpse of such state, this state is very beautiful and very, we can't express through words what happens during this state. Then the Shakti generates Kriya within, and the life of Jivan Mukta throbs with the cosmic energy. The Jivan Mukta throbs with the cosmic energy, like the Kushmanda throbs within the 8th chakra, that Shakti chakra, within the Dvadashanta Mandal. The same feeling is there, or same happens at the Siddha level. And the viewers and spectators for this state of life are our sensory organs, action organs, and the subtle other senses like other antarindriyas, intellect, ego, mind, and chitta. So these are the, we'll stop here up to this 11th. The 12th sutra is very beautiful. Dhivashata sattva siddhi, means command on the intellect brings the sattva siddhi, or the pure occult power. This is another outcome of this state. Outcome of this dance is Dhivashata sattva siddhi. So this we'll see in the next session. So any question on this?
Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev.
Ma'am, it was very awesome today.
Okay.
Actually, we enjoyed.
This is a beauty, no? This is a, what do you call it? This is blossoming.
Jai Gurudev,
Jai Gurudev.
you said that when tamas is there, tamas has to be removed to remove the moh part of it. So how do we remove the tamas? the inertia.
That is the sadhana. How to remove tamasa is given in Patanjali Yoga Sutra also. Ashtanga Yoga is to remove tamas only.
Okay.
Continuing practice of yoga, remaining with the reading the text or understanding the things, spiritual things, and acting upon our day-to-day activities. Sadhana is not for a few hours of a day. This is a continuing process. When you really want to remove the moha, you have to observe each and every action, because at any moment we can get trapped in the moha. So remaining aware is the basic requirement, or it is prerequisite for doing sadhana. Your awareness is very important. Whether the awareness is at the very higher level or it is at the initial level or primary stage, but awareness is important. If you are not aware, you will not progress on this path. So what is awareness? You are not in lethargy. You are not in tamas. You are in a sattvic mode. Then you remain aware. So continuing awareness can help you to come out of the moha varana. Then you get the siddhis.
Ma'am, in the last session, you had given that picture uh, about, like, when you gave us the invite, you had made use of that beautiful depiction of human. That tree was there with Sahasrara Chakra and the koshas.
Hmm.
Can you speak a little about it? You had depicted a tree, inverted tree.
Okay. That is
Yeah.
that is my painting actually.
Okay.
If it is there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So you had depicted kalp friction that.
It's not Kalpavriksha. This
Yeah.
is in the 15th chapter of Gita. Sri Krishna talks about that vriksha. This is the actually what we discuss here in these sessions. The same thing is there. Means we say that Chitta Shakti downloads from the Vijnanamaya Kosha. That is Urdhva Moolam. Means Krishna says this is the tree having the Moola, means the roots, Urdhva,
Yeah.
up,
Yeah.
and the branches and the leaves, etc., are on the downside. It's
So it is not called kalp friction.
no, it's not the Kalpavriksha.
Okay.
It is what we discuss here, that the Shakti, that the cosmic Shakti is always in the Vijnanamaya Kosha. From there, it downloads. And then it nourishes the other aspects, or the other, what you call, koshas, Namay, Pranamay, Manomay. That Shakti gives the nourishment to the kosha, other koshas. That's why the colors are saying the same thing. If you see the drawing, or I can share the, I think it is only 80% picture is there.
Oh,
Yeah.
ma'am, please share the full painting.
Yes, I'll share it.
Yeah. And that day you had spoken about Dakshinamurti. So you said, like, under the foot of Dakshinamurti, we have Avidya. So he has Avidya under his foot, no? That is Anmay Kosha?
No.
Depict?
This is avidya. This is apasmar is a rakshas. It is all for the understanding of the common people. Apasmar is a rakshasa. What do you call? Of avidya. Avidya rupi rakshas.
And the four other disciples, you said. These are Pranmay,
These are
Manomay,
the koshas.
Kosha.
Yes.
Koshas. You
These are the
said.
koshas. Yes. Or the four.
So is it somewhere related to, like, Adiyogi giving, imparting knowledge to the seven disciples? Is there a connection between that also?
Who are the seven disciples? Saptarushi.
Yes, Saptarishis.
That is a different concept. Adi Yogi. Here is a Dakshinamurti. Though Shiva is
Okay.
Adi Yogi only.
Yeah. This is different and that is different.
There are always different ways of saying the same thing. Because there are 7 layers also. We are going through only 5 koshas and related to these things. There are so many other ways of explaining the same principle. That even our in first in Art of Living's course, no happiness program, we learn about the 7 levels. It's the same thing, we can say. It is a different ways of explaining the same energy level or the what happens.
Okay. And ma'am, I have a little confusion about like super consciousness. Like, what is super consciousness? Like consciousness, subconsciousness, super consciousness.
Super consciousness is the pure chitta, having no impression in the memory.
Okay.
That is super conscious state. That is the state is eligible to receive the chitta shakti.
All right. And there is a word, ma'am, you had made use of, sublimal. Sublime, from sublime, the word was made like sublimal. That was used right in the beginning, the first session.
That was related to
Um, that was the first lecture I was listening to again.
that I must have used in some context. No?
Yes,
So do you remember that? What was that?
I think I'll post it then to you. I had written it in my copy.
Okay.
I'm not.
Put on the
Yes, ma'am. I'll do that. I'll do that.
yeah.
Yogeshwari ji, you
Yes.
said here during this session today, Kundalini energy initiates all the kriya. And for a siddha, like he does all the kriya without any accumulating any karma. So what is the difference between prana and kundalini?
Prana is a shakti.
So it's not the
That-
same as kundalini.
That is in everyone. We are having prana shakti. That's why we are alive.
But the levels vary, no?
That is a prana shakti, and kundalini is the cosmic energy that is residing in our Muladhara chakra, in a 3.5 coils. And with the sadhana, that energy becomes activated within us and start moving through the Sushumna Nadi. That is the effect of our sadhana. Kundalini Jagruti is called for that. Means activation of the cosmic energy which is dormant in us. Activation of the cosmic energy.
That is the kundalini.
That is the Kundalini Jagruti.
But even kundalini is there in everyone, right?
Yes, everyone. Because everyone is a part of Shiva Tattva only.
So then for a siddha, how does it vary? Like the kundalini is at its highest.
Yes,
Is it?
it is merged with the cosmic Kundalini that resides in the 8th chakra, 8th and 9th chakra. 9th chakra is a Shiva Tattva. 8th is the Kundalini cosmic energy.
So that is why
Parakundalini.
there is no like, nothing happens with whatever he does, his karma is not accumulated.
Because there is no self-driven intention or self-driven karma. No intentions or no selfish motto behind doing anything. Whatever he does for the betterment of the society, for the people only. Lokananda Samadhi Sukham. That sutra we have seen, it is the same thing.
And what are the different mayas then? Yoga maya?
That is the basic thing now of this session. This Yoga Maya, Mahamaya, and Moha Maya. These are the 3 types of Maya.
So what is the basic difference between yoga maya, moha maya, and mahamaya?
That we had discussed in the initially only we had discussed. That.
Moha maya is related to your desires.
Yes, about the Moha.
So how, like by just staying away from moha or just practicing this, enriching your prana, rising our kundalini, we can stay away from it. Do we have to actually do anything for moha
We have to
maya?
do sadhana. We have to
That
clean our chitta. That is the only
Chitta.
thing we have to do. Yes. That is a spiritual practice.
So that is our aim for seekers like us who are like in the sansar, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
In the chitta and get control over the moha maya.
Yes.
And what is yoga maya then? It's very confusing.
These are the basic. I'll put entire thing on the group then again. Because this we have discussed initially. I'll put
Yeah.
in detail in the on group. You are there on the group. Huh?
Yes, yes. Thank
Yes,
you.
I'll put it again. Yes.
Thank you so much.
No, no, it's okay. I'll put it. So any question on the today's session?
Ma'am, can you just enlighten us about the picture that you have put in today's Zoom meeting? You put this picture today also, no?
Where is
With the,
it is a samadhi of Dhaneshwar Maharaj.
okay. Yeah,
Dhaneshwar
because
Maharaj
it's,
is alive last 725 years in a form of Akasha Tattva. He left his gross body with the help of Sanjeevan Samadhi. It is a process, Natha Sampradaya yogi, they adopt this, some of, very few of, adopt this way to get rid of their physical body, but they remain in a Akasha Tattva. They remove all the four Mahabhutas and remain in Akash Tattva. His presence is there. He is very much there.
okay.
It's a Siddha Sthala.
All right. So, ma'am, I wanted to ask you about these three shariras. Like, gross body has limitation of kala and sthal. Then you said subtle body, it doesn't have any limitation, and current sharir, it has limitation of space.
No. Karan Sharir doesn't have any limitation. Karan Sharir means Shiva.
Yeah, but I think in the slide it's given that current sharir has space limitation. The PDF file that you have shared, no, ma'am? In the current sharir, it's written.
Maybe Sukshma Sharir can have the limitation of space at certain moment, at certain stages. But Karan Sharira is a Sukhamay Sharir. That is a part of Shiva.
Yeah, but I think, ma'am, in the PDF today, I was having a look.
Okay, I
It's
see.
written. Yeah. So I got a bit confused because I thought like how the space limitation is there.
That must be some error in typographical or something. I'll check it. Don't worry.
So space limitation will be for the subtle body.
It can be.
It can be.
Certain stages, space limitation is there because the crossing over the limitation of time happens. Huh? When the Kundalini merges with the Shakti cosmic energy, then
Yeah.
the time gets, that's why the Devi is called the Mahakali. Because there is the constraint of time is over there, Mahakali.
Okay.
But constraint of space remains up to certain level. And that is a juncture of getting into the Sukhamaya Sharira. Up to that point, it remains. After that, it also dissolves. And the person merges into Sukhamaya Sharira. That is a Shiva Tattva. That is the Turyatita Unmani Avastha, you can say. Merging in Shiva.
So after that, he doesn't come back, right?
No.
So this was mentioned in Paramahansa, like he was a Mahakali. And then there was, I remember I had read about an episode where the guru wants to, there's a Mahayogi who's worshipping Mahakali. And then there's this saint who wants him to rise and he cuts his forehead with glass. Have you heard of that story, ma'am?
No. It happened with whom?
Oh.
No. That is that one Lama tried this. In the in Vajrayan of Buddhism, there are some tantric processes where they cut here and physically do certain actions over there.
No, ma'am, it happened here, I think in Bengal somewhere. I'll have to get back to you on that.
Okay, okay. Because
Yeah. The guru, like, he cut the forehead because he was not able to go beyond Kali, Mahakali. So he would see Kali everywhere.
that
He
is a
would,
hallucination. That Ramakrishna Paramahansa had this.
yeah.
And then
Yeah.
Totapuri Maharaj told him, this, you are trapped in Yogamaya. That is Yogamaya.
Okay, so he would only worship Kali, no?
He used to worship Kali. He was a pujari of Kali Mandir. Na?
Yeah.
So that see where and being at a very high level also in spiritual practice, one can get trapped in any type of Maya. This was a hallucination. Seeing or hearing or touching, all these five senses, when you get something through these five senses, this is all Maya. This is all Yoga Maya at this level. This is not true because at this level, at that level, we don't find anything connected with the physical body. This is Annamaya Kosha, and we just keep away this Kosha. Even we keep away Manomaya Kosha, everything. That's why we get connected with the Vijnana.
Yeah. So
Again,
like,
if you are getting some sense images or something like that, then it is again getting the Annamaya Kosha.
yeah, so like the devotees of Lord Krishna, those who worship Laddu Gopal, like they feed, they give him bath and all that. That is also Yog Maya?
That is not even Yoga Maya also. That is Moha Maya. They are trapped in the image of Krishna. Moha about the Krishna.
Yeah.
Even some are in a Mahamaya also.
What would be that?
That is means you are trapped in any image.
Okay.
But if they are totally into bhakti, bhava,
Yeah.
there is a difference. That's why bhakti is a very easy way of attaining the higher state of sadhana. If you are totally immersed in bhakti, then it is very different state. Because bhakti is the ultimate state of love.
Yeah.
If they are in a total into bhakti, then it happens. See, very funny thing I will tell about this. There was a lady. She was continuously in the love of Sri Krishna, bhakti of Sri Krishna. Whatever she used to do, she used to arpan to Sri Krishna. Krishna arpanastu. That is everything she does, Krishna arpanastu. Eating, everything. So what happened? One day she was mopping the floor. In olden days, na वो घरों में गोबर से लिंपन करते थे. That's so she finished that entire limpan and threw the mop.
Yeah.
Krishna Arpanastu. She arpanastu that mop to Krishna. That came
Yeah.
to his face. He asks Narada, what happened? Who has offered me this mop full of gobar? Then Narada, he laughed and he said, see that your devotee only has offered this. Then Krishna said, yes, it's a great present for me. That if my devotee is offering this also to me, it's Sarapope. Then he laughed and accepted that also. So this is the ultimate state of love about. If the devotee is having that bhava about the Laddu Gopal, and
Yeah.
if we can come out of all the moha through that, this is also one of the way.
Okay.
But he should not get trapped in other things. Only decorating the deity, not doing any sadhana, or if his actions are different, his behavior with the other people are not good, or he is not assuming other people as a Sri Krishna, then that remains on the very superficial. Otherwise, if he is totally devoted to Sri Krishna, it's a great thing.
Yeah. And ma'am, there's one more thing like about the Natraj, the dancer thing that you were talking about, Lord Shiva. So even in like it's there when we are worshipping Lord Krishna, it's said that Krishna is dance. When we chant, then Krishna is dancing on your tongue.
On your
Tongue. Krishna is dancing on your tongue. When we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, then they say that Lord Krishna
Yeah,
is
yeah,
dancing on
yes.
your tongue.
It's a way of saying
It's a way
why
of,
Hare Krishna is coming out of the tongue or coming on the tongue. It is only His grace. He is dancing on it. We are doing
okay.
nothing. Only Krishna is doing everything. That means
All
Shiva
right.
is doing everything, or the cosmic energy is doing everything.
Yeah,
Here,
yeah,
the cosmic energy for them is a Krishna.
yeah. Okay.
This is
Yes.
only understanding, the difference in understanding, but the main principle is the same. Whether it's a
Same.
Shiva, whether it is Krishna, or whether anything, Kali, you call anything. But
Yeah,
the principle is the same.
correct.
Yogeshwari, when we dream, is it in any form related to Maya? Any form of Maya? When we dream about
Yes,
someone,
everything is part of Maya only. It is the aviveka in Sushupti, but during dream also Maya only is taking some of the other form. Na? Our mind is part of Maya. And during dream state, what happens? Our mind creates some vague images. Something from the past, something from the future, something from the today's last impression when we go to sleep, or day-to-day's activity, what has happened today or few days back. All these things are getting accumulated in a very, what you call, not in a proper way.
subtle way. Yeah.
It is something very vague.
So that's why Guruji says not to worry too much about dreams.
You should not. Though there is a Swapna Shastra, this much big book is there on Swapna Shastra. They analyze each and every type of Swapna, what is happening, but it is of no use. It is all wasting energy for a sadhaka. Because Swapna is a past. And what sadhak has to do? Sadhak should always remain in the present moment. So don't think about dreams.
Ma'am, it's actually very simple, like the way you have explained, that's Satchit Anand. It actually is with mantra, we can just de-stress ourselves. Every time we chant mantra, we just have to be fully aware and keep expanding our consciousness. So whenever we feel like something is worrying or bothering, we just keep expanding ourselves with mantra chanting so that stress will evaporate.
Yes. One should also understand what is a worry. What is a worry? Again, you go to the 5 kleshas, Abhinavesh. What is worry? Worry is the outcome of any bhaya or any, you feel
Yeah.
Abhinavesh. Worry about or fear about the death. Ultimate worry is fear about the death only, na? Or losing our wealth, losing our loved one, or losing something is the fear. Na?
Yeah.
So address that first. Why this bhava is coming in my consciousness or in my mind? Just address it and it will disappear. You did not do something on that. You just address, you just identify from where it is coming. If you are feeling worried, just go back and see which is the source, what is the source of that worry.
So like if I'm aware of it, where it is stemming from, so then it is only acceptance after that?
Yes, you accept that part. Why you are worrying? Because you are not accepting that situation. For example, if you are losing money, if you are lost some money in some investment or something, and then you keep on worrying about that. Why? Because you are not accepting. Once you accept that, yes, my money has gone in this investment, that's it. Forget it. Don't brood on that. Why I have invested. I was so foolish that time. Somebody has just pulled me to invest those things, the money in that, what you call investment option and etc. That is all the after effects of doing overthinking on that. For a sadhaka, it is never advised. साधक को नहीं ये सब बातों के ऊपर worry करना ही नहीं चाहिए. Because again, it is having some impression on your chitta, in your mind, again making the chitta dull, very blur, and you will not progress on this path.
But ma'am, acceptance is there, but then to come out of it, like it takes I mean, one keeps telling oneself, okay, fine, accept it.
The most
then you-
difficult point, you know, of the 5 points is acceptance.
Then you will
You-
find the proper way to come out of that. Accept the thing and accept the effects of that thing also. If you are not accepting the effect of that happening, then also you keep on worrying.
Awareness is there and acceptance is there, but then
Acceptance is part of awareness only.
yeah.
Once you are aware that nothing is going to happen through my continuously worrying for hours together, then it is a part of acceptance. Na?
Yeah.
Leave it to the Almighty, leave it to the Shiva.
Yeah.
What is being happening to ourselves, na? It is the Ichha, or it is the desire of the ultimate cosmic energy.
Yes.
That's why you find many saints have gone through many such calamities, you can say, in day-to-day life.
Yeah. Yes. Correct. Thank
And those
you.
are the tests for sadhak,
Yeah.
exams for them.
Yes. Thank you.
Ma'am,
Yes.
um,
Your
ma'am,
voice is echoing.
एक one. Ma'am, like you said, through Sangeet, I mean, in that stage, Sadhak, it becomes Nartaka Atma. So, through sadhana, this happens, I mean, with the Siddha and Jivana Mukta. So, ma'am, if we practice Shastriya Sangeet, Nritya, and this kind of thing, I mean, if someone practice and get very much, go very deep into that, then that samadhi state happen with them,
Yes.
this
Yes.
kind of states,
Yes, yes, it happens.
but it must be Shastriya.
Obviously, that is having divine touch. If you are going to discover and dancing, it will not take you to that level.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. Our classical dance is all based on various mudras. It is a totally scientific type of dance. Even Bharatnatyam, everything, not Kathaka, but Bharatnatyam. Kathaka is a amalgamation of Indian dance plus the Mughal impact is there. But our dance practices like Bharatnatyam, Odissi, that totally full of mudras, getting the cosmic energy within. And if you are merged totally in doing the dance, you can, or doing any, or singing ragas. All the ragas are based on the spiritual aspects. Every raga is based on spiritual aspects. Because the Sangeet, what they sing is the Sat Sur jisko bolte hain, they are all, they reflect the cosmic energy. Because the cosmic energy is a Nada Brahma. And Sangeet is also Nada Brahma. That's why Shiva is imparting this knowledge. He is not imparting writing knowledge to anybody. No. He is giving the knowledge of Sangeet and the spirituality about the wisdom, other part.
So, ma'am, are you going to enlighten us about the ragas also? Like, what, like, raga is for what? Like, you know, for like doing meditation in the evening. There are different ragas that we have during the day.
Each ragas are divided in prahara. As per there is a kalagana, means there is a time slot called prahara. According to that, ragas are given. Like Shri or Bhairavi are, these raga are, are practiced during the end of the day. For example, we can have a session on this raga and
Yeah.
connection with spirituality.
Because like while taking meditations like Yaman, Rag Yaman or something, I want to know which raga I should, play in the background so that it gives more relief to the meditators. It will be very helpful for people to,
What
de-stress.
happens now if you say Yamana? There are Yaman Kalyan, there are 3-4 types of Yaman also. If you are really know the raga, then you will have the correct raga playing with you.
Okay.
You got it.
Yes.
If you have studied those things and if you recite, that is very much effective than listening to somebody else.
Oh, I don't have that knowledge. I don't have that kind
It is a beautiful field, learning music, no? And it is a very intuitive process when you sing the raga. So it can awaken the energy within. If
like
your behavior is pure sattvic, then otherwise you find many very good performance like Pandit Bhimsen Joshi, or they are involved in drinking and other things. So their behavior is not sattvic, was not sattvic. Whereas,
oh,
so for them, the singing is become an outer performance, not the inner. Antarnada is not. So for
but
Shiva, that's why the Ravana was a great devotee of Shiva.
yeah,
So he created Rudravina. And he used to perform the Rudravina as a part of seva or as a part of spiritual practice. So Guruji also plays Rudravina.
okay.
Rudravina is the toughest instrument to play.
Yeah.
Like Shatatantri, like Santur, na, that's we call as a Santur, is very popular in Kashmir, because Kashmir was the Sharda Pitham, the university for higher knowledge and learning, wisdom learning. So there this instrument has been invented, and people that time used to use that, to play that for while doing sadhana also. Because every moment, all the 24 hours, you can't remain in samadhi. No? So you should have
Yeah.
some simple things to do in life. That one of
Yeah.
the is music, dance, music, playing an instrument. Shatatantri is called Santur. Very
I
popular.
yeah. I have painted a painting which I call Turiya.
Okay.
I so the eyes of Buddha are totally still. That
Hmm.
was yeah.
I have heard that Shastriya Sangeet helps to stable our Mooladhara chakra also.
Yes.
Shastriya Sangeet.
Yes.
Okay. Ma'am, how Kundalini Shakti flows in our body? Means some of the days when I do my sadhana, it does not happen on all days. But some days my both two nostrils are open, means and I feel very fresh after doing sadhana on that day.
Yes.
So so up to what point it has reached, means up to what chakra? How to know that?
No, this opening of two nadis is very much necessary. And for that, this Upanayanam and wearing the thread,
Okay.
Yajnapavita, is for
Yes.
that only. When we pull the thread in a specific way, the Guru teaches during the Upanayanam. Then the Ida and Pingala here behind our, in this part of the neck where the juncture is there. So at that juncture, the Ida and Pingala crisscross, and we put a specific pressure there, na? Both the nadis get open, and maximum oxygen we get. That's why we feel very fresh. That's why Trikala Sandhya is at the starting of the day, when the day starts, at the noon and during the evening time. By default, both the nadis are open. And
Okay.
when we, for few few minutes, you can say. But if we want to continue in that state, we have to put a specific pressure on our nadi. And that is why the sandhya is being done on this juncture of the day and night. That is why sandhya is very necessary for anybody who wants to acquire knowledge or who wants to do sadhana. Sandhya is a good external practice to keep the nadi open for longer time, and then do the pranayama. So you will get the maximum prana shakti. And what is prana shakti is that shakti, that power that you need to run your body. All the 5 pranas run your body.
Okay. And ma'am, I also want to know what is the importance of stones or rudraksha wearing?
Stones are related to the grahas. Every aspect in this on this earth is carrying the cosmic energy, Shiva Tattva. And all the major grahas, that planets around them, they also affect the things here on the planet. So there are certain ratnas, means if Jupiter is there, his favorite is sapphire, yellow sapphire. For the Saturn, it's blue sapphire. For coral is for the Mars, like that. For moon, it is moti, what you call pearl, real pearl. Like that, every for the 7 planets, there are 7 types of ratna, precious stones.
Okay. Do they also help in spiritual growth?
Not much. They are used to calm down your mind. Indirectly, you can say if your moon is not good, not in proper place, and if it is invariably in a 12th bhava, then you always remain restless. You can't sit for meditation or doing any sadhana. You are very repulsion is what you call very reactive mode and very unstable mind. So when if you wear the moti or the pearl in silver, it very helpful. So we see the Kundalini entirely, and we see which planet is placed where, or which other planet is looking to that. So accordingly, we advise the Ratna. So I generally do it this way.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
ma'am, one question. Like when we born, then there is there is Kundali, like Chandra Kundali and that Lagna Kundali, something like that. But if we do sadhana, then I mean, then which Kundali we will see? I mean, that 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 remain important, that birth chart, because
See,
I heard
certain
somewhere
level,
if you do sad, huh?
after certain level, the Kundali means the Graha, effect of Graha starts getting blurred. Effect, the Graha's effect is not there on sadhaka's life when the sadhaka reach to that Kurya Bhav. Till that, the Kundali effect is there because we had to perform, we had to get rid of our Prarabdha Karma. Now, what Kundali indicates your Prarabdha Karma? That you had to get rid of that.
So, ma'am, like the moon thing that you just spoke about, no? When the moon is. So, I have experienced this during my practice. Earlier, I was very consistent with my practices. Then, suddenly, there was this period when I would spread my yoga mat and then sit, and then again, not able to concentrate and just wanting to do it, but not able to do it. So I went through, and yes, I could feel that thing with the moon, like during the full moon, I could feel that uh, difference in my mental setup.
Yes, because moon is the closest object. of the
Yeah.
earth. And it
Yeah.
directly affects the mind.
Yeah.
What
So-
we need in sadhana, a stable mind.
Yeah. So I underwent that phase, but I was not aware about the pearl thing that you've told me about wearing pearl. But now, luckily, it's a bit less for me. So, but yeah, it did affect me in a major way. It did affect me. So for that, should
Ma'am,
I?
no,
Oh,
continue, please.
no, it's okay. So for that, ma'am, should I consult somebody?
Yeah, you can consult a good astrologer for that.
Okay, so like wearing stone may help me. Maybe.
Ratna Shastra is very good Shastra if you apply in proper way.
Okay, fine. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
These
Ma'am,
are all
which
these are all vidyas. Jyotish is a vidya. It is means in a Veda, it is called as a vidya. Jyotish vidya. And while doing sadhana, during sadhana also we get this vidya. Jyotish mati it's called. The Shastra of the Jyotish mati, this is the illumination, science of illumination around. All the planets are illuminating the energy of sun, and plus the dark matter is around every planet. That's why the planet have a very typical spherical shape, only because of the dark matter around. So for me, when I practice this, I consider the dark matter as a Ketu and the earth as a Rahu, these two things. Instead of south and north poles, I consider Ketu as a dark matter, Shiva, and Prithvi as a Rahu. It's a very beautiful science. So one must study this if you are really intelligent and want to have some good energies. No? Jyotish Vidya is very mesmerizing thing.
But
Yogesh,
ma'am, one
I-
thing, like, sorry.
yes, yes.
No, I'll just put this much. Ma'am, so many knowledges like about astrology. It's how is it possible for us to gain knowledge of everything? The
No, once you
mind,
reach to that level, everything starts downloading.
yeah, that's exactly. I mean, to
That's why keep the chitta clean. That is the only thing you do. Then whatever you want to learn, it happens automatically. That is my own experience. I can 100% say it happens.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
There is a saying that, Yogeshwariji, that there is a dark night of the soul after which an awakening happens. So how do you explain it spiritually, like dark night of the soul?
This is all Western this thing, na? Dark
Theory.
night of soul. Soul
There
has
must
no
be
dark night,
something to it.
actually.
Yeah,
Soul has no
exactly.
night or day. What happens now during sadhana? Due to some of the effects of the planets or our own worries or something like that, we remain static during that time. Our sadhana doesn't move forward or start. We walk with very uh, less space. We are not fast on the track. So that can be called as a dark night for the soul. But from my perspective, there is no night or day for the soul. Soul is ever illuminating thing. Atma Tattva is a Shiva Tattva. For the Atma Tattva, there is no night and day, there is no dark patches, there is nothing. This is all happen at the Manomaya. Your mind can have this, your chitta can have such type of feelings. But Atma, no, nothing. It is away from all these things. It is a just seer and
Yeah.
always in a Satchit Anand. There is no darkness. Satchit Anand.
So it's again back to that chitta cleaning.
Yes, that's
Then
why I'm repeatedly saying one thing only. Clean your chitta and you will become the Shiva.
Ma'am, I want to know the how to perform our daily sadhana, means in what serial? Should we perform Sandhya first and then Om Namah Shivaya chanting? Means
Kriya is very effective. Sudarshan Kriya, if you are learn, are you Art of Living follower?
yes. I am
Then-
doing my Kriya daily, but I told you before that sometimes I don't feel that my both two nostrils are working during Kriya. So,
Let it
for
happen. Let it happen.
okay.
It happens only. So it's a good sign actually. Do Sandhya, do Pranayam, do Sudarshan Kriya, then Sahaj. And if you really want to work on this path, learn Shakti Kriya. Shakti
Okay.
Kriya is very effective.
Okay. Thank you.
Yogeshwari ji, my neighbor, I have made her appear, sit for the program, happiness. But again, I see she is down, she's depressed, just sits in one place. How do I help her? She is not willing to do Kriya. So difficult to guide her.
No, you guide such people up to certain level.
Yeah,
She must be facing some of the prarabdha karma. So let her face that.
let her face it. It's so
Let
sad
her
to
face
see her sitting like that.
But what can we do, na?
Yeah,
We
so
can
many
put our
times I've
maximum to 100% we can put, but if her prarabdha karmas must be very strong.
when she did the course, within a month, her son, who was not visiting her, the reason for her sadness, her son miraculously came and visited her. So, but she didn't pick up lessons from that also. That let me do my part.
That is the prarabdha, na?
Yeah.
Clutches of prarabdha are very strong. Krishna said, na? Gahano karmana gatihi. One cannot understand gati kya hai uska. What is the outcome? What is the way of having getting the prarabdha karma or any type of karma? Even becoming sad is her kriyaman karma.
Yeah.
Remaining in sad mood is a kriyaman karma. It is her own karma that she is doing in a present moment. So that is the very mysterious thing.
Arrogance also, no, that I will not do Kriya. What to do?
No, this is avidya.
Avidya.
This
Yes.
is not arrogance. This is avidya.
Ignorance.
Ignorance is ajnana.
Hmm.
Vidya is a different thing. It is part of 5 kleshas.
Oh. What is avidya in English then?
There is no word for avidya.
Yeah.
That's why I refer only avidya. English
In
is such a
they say
language,
ignorance only. Yeah.
find
But
a
it's
words,
the same,
suitable
yeah.
words. So any other question?
Ma'am, can you share those ragas that can be useful for spiritual journey too?
We will have a
help us
session on this, or we'll discuss in special session about ragas.
because ma'am, there are many rajasic too. So if we know that which ragas can connect spiritually, so
We'll discuss in another session. No? We'll discuss
okay,
about
ma'am.
Shiva Sutra during this session.
Okay,
And
ma'am.
things related to Shiva Sutra.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
So we'll conclude today. Any other question? One question?
Thank you, ma'am. There's so many queries and you're answering so many things.
Pleasure not to discuss such things. It's good.
Yeah,
Good to
yeah,
impart the knowledge, wisdom given by Guru.
yeah.
Thank you, Yogeshwari ji.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.